I am Jana Bosonko, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. And now here are the main news headlines. Teachers in public schools across the country on Monday began a sit-down strike following announcement by the parent body, the Gambia Teachers Union. The Minister of Justice has appeared and formally apologized to the National Assembly following his absence from a session at the National Assembly last Tuesday. And the Standing Committee on Public Petitions of the National Assembly and partners on Saturday organized a day-long forum on sensitizing the public about the committee's mandate and petitions process. International Epilepsy Day was on Monday commemorated by the Foundation for Epilepsy and Stigma Support the Gambia in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. And in sports news, 23 senior secondary schools and 7 upper basic schools over the weekend converged at Farafenni Mini Stadium to compete in the Gambia Senior Secondary School Sports Regional Athletics Competition. Well, now those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us. I am Jana Bosonko and you're watching QTV 8 p.m. News. Now, teachers in public schools across the country on Monday began a sit-down strike following announcement by the parent body, the Gambia Press Union. The Gambia Teachers Union, rather. Babu Kasi has the rest of that story.
In a letter sent to all public school teachers, the union says the strike is because of unpaid COVID-19 allowances owed to some teachers. Thousands of students across the country went to school on Monday morning, only to discover that their teachers will not be teaching them. At Gambia Senior Secondary School, students were even planning a peaceful protest to show that they will be missing out, especially those in grade 12. Students say they have had enough, especially as this is another disruption following school closure last year due to COVID-19. Sukai Jalo, the head girl of Gambia Senior Secondary School, said the teachers' strike will greatly affect learning, especially for final year students.
As we all know, during our graduation, we were affected by this pandemic and we didn't cover most of our topics. And grade 11 too the same, though it was alhamdulillah. But then grade 12 again, now it's not only about the pandemic, as well now we have what is called teachers on strike, which you know that like is very, I can say, sad for us the students, especially with the grade 12s. I'm pleading all of them to help us in any way possible that they can help us, because like this is really affecting us. We really need our teachers to teach us.
Suleiman Jallo, the school's deputy head boy, said they are consulting with other schools, and if there is no solution to the strike, they will take on the streets.
We are disappointed on this current issue because our teachers, they are working tirelessly to make sure we have things that we need for our exam. But in this case, things are going in the other direction, because I can only remember during the pandemic, there's a COVID-19, we were really affected when we were in grade 10. So like most of our syllabus were not covered. So meaning in this situation, if this continue to be in this way, I don't think we have a very good future, because why does not look for that? The ministry or any institution which is responsible to make sure they handle this situation, they should do so, because if they do not do, the students to have to go work on their own, meaning we have to go on strike.
Mamadou Baba Jallo, the headmaster of Gambia Senior Secondary School, hopes the problem will be solved as soon as possible and discourage the students from protesting.
No, I think that's too premature. What is important is that they are coming to school, and then government is paying for their school fees. They are and then supplying them books. So when issues like this come, they have to stay put and then wait for the situation is addressed until the situation is addressed. So our wish that this situation is addressed as soon as possible, so that teachers can start teaching and then students can start going to the class.
At the Greater Banjul Upper and Senior Secondary School, teachers were also observing the strike. Tijan Gay, a teacher, said he hopes the authorities solve the problem as soon as possible for the benefits of the students.
We've known over the years that the Gambia Teachers Union and the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education have a very good relationship in the protocols and all the processes that they put in place. And I think this kind of issue can be sorted out, and I hope before the end of the day something tangible can be finalized. And if you see all of us, we are here, it's because we want to help. And over the years we've been teaching on some serious conditions, and our plight have been always been a problem, but we always look at the issues of the kids and their plight, how to help them.
Over 2,500 contact hours were lost during the COVID-19 enforced closures of all learning institutions across the country. In a similar strike in 2020, almost 700 teachers put down their tools over alleged deduction of their salaries. The students are calling on the authorities to solve the problem so they can resume learning. As some students put it, when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
Definitely. Now, the Minister of Justice has appeared and formally apologized to the National Assembly following his absence from a session at the National Assembly last Tuesday. Mohamed Lamin Choi has the rest of that story.
Almost a week after the National Assembly witnessed the absence of the Justice Minister from a session, as expected, an update about the matter has come up for announcement by the Assembly Speaker, Mariam Jack Denton. The Speaker reads out the decision from the Assembly Business Committee, who were tasked to meet and review the conduct of the Minister and to advise the plenary on possible further action in accordance with 4 relevant constitutional provisions and standing orders. The committee has met twice and come up with decisions.
Upon reviewing the various relevant provisions of the 1997 Constitution and the standing orders of the National Assembly, it could be argued that the cause of action against the Attorney General might lie under either Section 75 or Section 110 of the Constitution. This means that it is possible for the National Assembly to pass in courts a vote of censure against a minister under Section 75 of the Constitution, or cite him or her for contempt of the National Assembly under Section 1110 of the Constitution.
The Speaker further announces technical legal challenges for the application of the constitutional provisions of Sections 75 and 110, on which the Assembly could rely for action against the Justice Minister.
The attention of the ABC has been drawn to the fact that neither the Constitution or the standing orders establish the procedure for initiating contempt proceedings in the National Assembly, although the Assembly could be guided by best practices in parliamentary procedures in other Commonwealth countries. The ABC directs that the Legal and Procedural Division of the Office of the Clerk continues the research on contempt of Parliament and other available best practices in Commonwealth jurisdictions, together with our relevant laws, to prepare the Assembly for any further incidents.
As a means of sanction, the Assembly Business Committee have decided that all the bills which the Justice Ministry is responsible for be deleted from the agenda of the Assembly's first ordinary session. Speaker Jack Denton also informs plenary that the Minister has tendered a written apology to the National Assembly, as requested last week. In addition, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dauda Ejalo, is invited to face the chamber and give his oral apology.
I also would like to add that it does not signify any kind of disrespect to this body. It so happened that some lapses happened and I was not able to appear, but my absence was not a sign of disrespect to this August Assembly. I urge the National Assembly members, the Honorable Speaker, and the Office of the Clerk to accept my apology.
The legislature is sending a clear message to cabinet ministers that it will not allow anyone to trample on its dignity or authority, nor accept any repeat failure of a minister to attend to businesses under their charge. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Still on the National Assembly, as the Standing Committee on Public Petitions of the National Assembly, in collaboration with the Westminster Foundation for Democracy, on Saturday organized a day-long seminar on sensitizing the public about the committee's mandate and the petitions process. Babu Kursi again.
The National Assembly Standing Committee on Public Petitions was set up in 2020 to promote and protect human rights, combat corruption and abuse of office, and promote accountability in society to enhance good governance. The day-long forum brought together Petitions Committee members, CSOs, local councils and media practitioners to discuss the process and mechanisms for submitting petitions to the committee. Marabi S. Haidara, Director of Committees at the National Assembly, tells us more about the setting up of the committee and its importance.
As the name indicates, it is important that the public know that such a committee does exist in the National Assembly to enable them to channel their concerns for redress. The committee plays a quasi-judicial function, and recently it is considering the petitions submitted by the staff of the GT board against its management. It is our belief that decisions of the courts are time-consuming and expensive. Therefore, grievances and complaints on policy deficiencies can be dealt with by the committee. This forum cannot come at a better time when various committees at the Assembly are undergoing tremendous transformations.
Madi Jobate, Westminster Foundation for Democracy country representative, said key among their mandate is to work with the National Assembly to make it more vibrant and functional in a democratic process.
National Assembly members like MPs across the world are not experts in everything, but then they deal with everything. And this is why it is important that the National Assembly as an institution has the necessary structures with staff with the necessary competence, capacity to provide, to enable, to facilitate members to obtain the right information, provide them with the right analysis, so that they will be able to make informed decisions.
Honorable Sunkaru Baji, the chairperson of the National Assembly's Petition Committee, said the committee is set up for the public and thus expects citizens to come forward with their petitions.
So this occasion is quite important for us. As the content director rightly said, on one occasion he himself filed a petition to the National Assembly which was rendered inadmissible. That was as a result of actual ignorance, sorry for that word actually, or non-knowledge in what it takes to describe a petition admissible. Who should file a petition? What should the committee do to treat a public petition? And who, the most important question, who is eligible to address a public petition to the National Assembly? So this occasion will be a great opportunity for us. But in the past, we've been trying to go on the media. We had an opportunity with IRI, but that did not materialize. The Office of the Clerk is doing everything humanly possible so that we can have public engagement.
To raise awareness about the Petitions Committee, stakeholders, particularly the media, can help in disseminating and sensitizing the public on how, when and where to send their public petitions. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
From that story by Babu Karsi, we will now go for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we have some more local news, sports. Do stay tuned.
Q Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q Power. I am QCell. I am Sunyabos. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information. Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now, International Epilepsy Day was on Monday commemorated by the Foundation for Epilepsy and Stigma Support the Gambia in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. The day is observed annually on the second Monday of February to promote awareness on epilepsy right around the world. Omar Pijalo attended the event and he files on this report.
International Epilepsy Day seeks to raise awareness and educate the public about epilepsy and the urgent need for improved treatment, better care and investment in research, and for all stakeholders to speak with one global voice. The theme for International Epilepsy Day this year is 50 million steps for epilepsy. Delivering the welcoming remarks, the president of the Foundation for Epilepsy and Stigma Support the Gambia, Adam Jallo Jane, reveals that in November 2020, the 73rd World Health Assembly adopted a resolution for global action on epilepsy and other neurological disorders, which requested the WHO to develop an intersectoral global action plan on epilepsy and other neurological disorders. The action plan should address the challenges and gaps in providing care and services for people living with epilepsy through a comprehensive coordinated response across all sectors.
The IGAP is currently being discussed at executive board level of the WHO, and once approved, it will then require ratification by the World Health Assembly in May 2020. I am hereby appealing to the Health Minister, His Excellency Dr. Amadou Samaté, to support this ambitious plan.
Professor Usman Nyan, the Chief Medical Director, Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, said the day provides a platform for people with epilepsy to share their experience and stories with a global audience and encourage people with this medical condition to live to their fullest potential.
In the Gambia, we've had a number of scenarios. Generally, because it is a disease of the nerves, these have been managed by generalists. And in the last 10 years or so, we've been fortunate to have what we call neurologists. These are specialists in diseases of the brain and the nerves.
Dr. Mustafa Bite, the Director of Medical Services, said the common reason for all celebrations on International Epilepsy Day is the desire to highlight epilepsy and to bring attention to the need for better awareness and understanding, improved diagnosis and treatment services, and increase research in order to better the lives of all those affected by epilepsy.
When I was taught that the froth or the liquid that comes out from a woman or a child or a person who is fitting, who is having an epileptic fit, when I was taught that if that fluid touches you, you still will not have the disease, it took me time to believe that. And I think this type of important information is very important for people to know.
Despite epilepsy being one of the world's oldest known medical conditions, public fear and misunderstanding about epilepsy persists. This makes many people reluctant to talk about epilepsy, which in turn leads to lack of understanding about individual risk, discrimination in workplaces and communities, and lack of funding for new research. As many as 50 million people worldwide are affected by epilepsy. The 50 Million Steps for Epilepsy campaign provides an opportunity to raise the much-needed resources for epilepsy patients, groups and associations around the world. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
50 million steps for epilepsy. Now, open gutters that are filled with waste are safety and health hazards. Residents of Lachakunda Yiringanya over the weekend embarked on an exercise to promote sanitation, safety and discourage illegal waste dumping by covering open gutters within the community. Babukar C has the rest of that story.
This exercise is carried out by the community at least twice a year to allow the free flow of water, prevent pedestrians, cyclists and motorists from having accidents. This time the youth came up with the idea of molding concrete slabs to seal the open gutters. Family heads, residents and citizens of the area now living abroad all contributed in cash or kind for the successful implementation of the project. Lamin Emit Ndong, one of the elders of the community, explains the importance of the initiative.
We don't have to embark on only government. At least we have to subscribe our quota on the development of what's happening in our community. So we don't have to rely on government. So we took it ourselves to keep it rolling. The gutter here that have been here for over 40 years, and due to health regarding these mosquitoes when the rainy season is on, so what we decided was to make slabs on the gutter to cover it up to avoid mosquitoes. And this is the project we are on to. We have contributors who have donated us, with kind or cash, of which we appreciate a lot.
Aissatou Barry, also a native of Latrikunda Yiringanya, stresses the importance of closing the gutters.
Gutter bi safe pour ñom parce que dañ dé ñëw rek dañ fa na foyé kay la.
The gutters are not safe for small kids. They play inside the gutter thinking it is a playground. They also jump into the dirty water, especially during the rainy season, which can cause serious accidents, especially when there is a lot of water. Most of the time, we send them away for their safety because we live around here.
Musa Bah, the ward councillor, says the initiative is a clear manifestation that the youth have taken the lead in the community and in the country.
They've decided to come together at least to try to put up some cover, that is some slabs in this gutter that you are seeing around. For every other time, some people will come and dump rubbish inside the gutter. So by covering it, I believe that will at least prevent people from dumping inside the gutter. This is our community. When it is tidy, when it is clean, it's for our own good. Because end of the more the environment is clean, the healthier the people around will be.
The community here believes that government cannot do everything for them. Thus, they have led the way in promoting sanitation, safety, and discourage illegal waste dumping by covering open gutters within the community. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
From that story by Babu Karsi on that brilliant initiative, we will now take a look at what is happening in the world of sports. The Gambia Senior Secondary School Sports Regional Athletics Competition was held at the Farafenni Mini Stadium, ended on Sunday. The three-day competition saw 23 senior secondary schools and 7 upper basic schools compete for spots in the national championship in March. QTV sports reporter Mamadou Gajaga witnessed the action at Farafenni and he fastened this report.
More than 20 schools across the North Bank and Lower River regions competed for qualification places at the National Schools Athletics Championship. St. Michael Senior Secondary School emerged winners, with host Farafenni Senior Secondary School second. The races were intense and very competitive and featured several track and field events, such as 800 meters, 3,000 meters, 400 meters, 4x100 meters, shot put, high jump and long jump, amongst others. Amadou Eso won the 5,000 meters, with Mbaye Kor a close second. They both spoke of how it feels to represent their schools.
I'm feeling tired and pain in my body because 5,000 is not an easy event. It's a long distance event. You have to have endurance, speed, energy have to be there to push it for the last 200 meters.
I came out with second position and I'm feeling okay. I'm so proud because I have trained almost 4 months.
Another race which caught the eye was the 3,000 meters for girls in upper basic schools. Although she looked young, Mariama Doumbouya of Kabakoto Upper Basic School had the stamina to win the race. She says her strength is training hard. Athletics remain an important activity in the Gambia schools calendar. Schools compete at regional level in Basse, Bansang, Farafenni and Brikama before the national championship, with the final at the Independence Stadium. During the 3-day competition in Farafenni, several raw talents with the potential to become national and international athletes emerge. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
I meant to say the Gambia Senior School Sports instead of Gambia Senior Secondary School Sports. I'm afraid that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Do join us at 10 p.m. for more news. Thanks for watching.